Hi, as you know, we've been working on stick and ink and washes and things like that. And today, as I was doing my walk around Patonga, I was very kindly given this by Jan. So this is a beautiful, I have no idea, I think it's flowering gum. No, it's a wattle. No, someone will tell me. Okay, it's beautiful. And as you can see, it's absolutely divine. So I thought before it actually loses all its beautiful petals and stamens and things, I might draw it. And then Jan said that she wants a copy. So the first thing I'll do is I'm going to do a rough one with stick and ink, and then I'm going to move on to really good paper that will make show you the difference between stick and ink, like on cartridge paper, and actually then doing watercolor washes and things like that on a proper paper. So let's just do this and see what happens. So I'm just going to put it in front of me, and I'm not going to say, I'm just going to get the elements of it. Now, what's not a bad idea is see how I hold that up, and if I had two hands, I could actually, with a light over the top, draw the shadow in first. Now that would be beautiful, but I can't do it because I would need two hands. But that shadow that you can see would be absolutely beautiful done in a water wash, just with a very little bit of lots of water and a touch of colour. And if you did that at the background, just very lightly, that would be beautiful. But I'm not going to do that. So anyway, what I've got is I'm going to use, I think I might use the black because I've got lots of that. Look, heaps of that. And I'm going to put this in the full Monty dish, meaning that it's only the ink. And I'm just going to do a drawing, and I'm just going to put it there. Look, it's losing its bits already. And I'm just going to do a stick and ink, and then I'm going to do, we're going to move on to watercolor and how when you touch the wet on wet and things like that and how it moves. So I'll just do this. You don't have to watch it because you all know how to do it now. So I'll come back to you and then show you what I've done, and then we'll go on to the watercolor. So here it is, my finished product, and it was only quick, as you saw in the quick demo, but it sort of loosens me up anyway, and that's just with cartridge paper. Now, as you can see, the most beautiful flower, and looks pretty ordinary with black and white. So what I have done is I've gone to get my pink ink, which is not cochineal, and my yellow ink. Oh gosh, where is it? Oh shit. My yellow ink. Now, what I'm going to do is set myself up with the proper watercolour paper. Take that out of the way, get my watercolour paper, get my picture, and I'm going to pour these into little containers so that I don't end up putting it everywhere. And I'm going to use some, because instead of just relying on our drawing, even though we are getting so good at it, I'm going to put some wax on there. And that just gives us a little bit more of a sexy bit. And I'm also going to put, because it's a watercolor, oh shit, I made a mess of the paper. It's so beautiful. Turn it over. All right. Still messy, but it's still better than it was. Okay, this poor thing's falling to bits. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get little containers, I'm going to pour it in, and we're going to do wet on wet and just see what happens with this watercolour. Well, it's not watercolour, it's ink, but same sort of concept as watercolour. So I've got yellow, which is very yummy, and I've got crimson. These are just artist pigment inks. I must have bought these when I was rich. And I slop them everywhere. They look fabulous on paper. And they suck in, and then I use them as a collage and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, we're going to have fun with that later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the there, and then I'm just going to use the wax candle just to, as you know, we don't know where we put it, so it doesn't really matter. And I'm just going to get this feeling here of this lovely, I can't get the foreshortening of that because I'm crap at it. So anyway, I'm going to put this here. It's going to come towards me. And then what I'll do is I'll just put little dots. See these lovely little stamens here? Can you see? See those little stamens? I'm going to put little dots. And what happens, I don't know where I put them because it's clear. And no, you don't put coloured wax because then you'd see it. So this is the whole idea about resisting. So what happens is they will resist when I do the drawing and it moves around, and it's gorgeous. I'm not going to bother with the leaves, but oh God, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I will. And as I won't know where I'm putting them, so when I do a wash, what happens if I do a wash over that, then the leaves will pop out. So maybe I will do that. That's a good idea. Okay, so I'm going to do another leaf here. A candle without crap all over it makes a big difference. Look at the mess I'm making. Okay, so now I don't know where I put the leaves now. I'm going to put them there. So when I put a wash over that, you'll love this. I'm going to do that now. Okay, so all I've got now is the paper, watercolour paper, which is not expensive. Comes in you can buy it in a pad. Now, if you need all these materials, as far as I know, Art Scene are delivering still all around Sydney, and they even up the Central Coast. So Art Scene, get on their website and have a look, and you can get all these delivered. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw what I've just drawn before, which is the flower with the stick and ink, and playing with that. So I'll do that, and look, it's still got the black ink on it, so it's even more yummy. And I'm just going to put that on there like that. And then what happens is this will dry, and then I can put a wash over the top. And as you know, yellow and pink, yellow and red make orange. So we're going to have yummy colours coming in. So I'm going to do this to start with, because I'm going to do a wash over this. All the black's coming out. Maybe that's a good thing. As I say, there's no such thing as a mistake. Oh, this is such a beautiful flower, this. So what I'm going to do, while you're here, before you get too bored and piss off and go and watch Netflix, I am going to just, with the, that is really black, that ink. So I'm going to take that off. I'm going to get another stick. High quality stuff, this. Oh, I might do the other end because it's thinner. And so what I'll do is, before this dries, and now you don't want to get too precious, right? Because precious is boring. And see how it's starting to resist in sections? So you can do this with any flower. I'm not very good at flowers. I get too tight, and as soon it looks too chocolate boxy. As soon as it looks chocolate boxy, then I get rid of it, and then what happens is then I love it, and then I wreck it again. So anyway, so before that dries, I'm going to get water, which is actually not the water I was going to use, it was the vase, but anyway, water's water, and I'm going to move that just around there like that, and for the shapes of those beautiful petals. And I'm just going to keep it quite loose in there, just so that these can still come out and give that lovely effect. And see how it's resisting a bit? Okay, so we'll do a little bit more there. Now this is just all about playing, and out here. Now if I get a bit of yellow and prop that in there, how gorgeous is that? Now this is not cochineal, but you could do it with cochineal. Now see how it's just grabbing there? It's just beautiful. All right, so I'm just going to take these out a little bit more. And that's when the lovely, the wax, okay, so it probably doesn't look anything like the flower is supposed to look, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do now, see how I've got yellowy water. I'm not happy there. Hang on. There we are. More shape, more shape, more shape. Got those lovely petals. Okay. I'm going to get the yellow and I'm just going to run it down there. Even though it doesn't have, it's not a yellow, they're not yellow leaves, they're green leaves. But see how that's resisting? And we've got, if we just fill in that space, now if that's a bit dramatic, I might just get rid of some of that. Now I can tip a bit of water on there and that will take that up a bit so it's not so, nothing like that. God, I need the toilet paper, hang on. Desperate measures, but I'm actually using toilet paper. That's okay, and see how that's resisting? So it's actually gone into the paper, and look how beautiful. Still gone into the paper, but it's resisted, so that's lovely. All right, so here is this thing here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the red, no I'm not, I'm going to do a really faint, start off quite faint and just see where it catches to get that feeling there. It's quite wide on the bottom, and by just starting off faintly with just a touch of colour, I can get these, that movement there. It's not going to look anything like it. Anyway, so as this is resisting beautifully, real watercolourists will say, Vanessa, this is absolute rubbish, but it doesn't matter, having fun, not thinking about crap. I don't eat while I'm drawing, I'm too busy thinking. It's like my little jigsaw puzzle. I don't like it. Actually taking over from this lovely thing, so I'm going to get rid of it. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Yuck, 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 yuck. Get rid of it, get rid of it. Suck up, suck up, suck up. And I'm going to come in with, that's why there's no such thing as a mistake. Look how lovely that is. I'm going to whack another one of those in there. And with the stick and ink, it will be different to this one because it doesn't have the black ink on it, one. And the stick and ink will just give it more definition over the, it'll be good if I put this over here, stop the, and give it more definition where the wax is not. See how I can't do two things at once? So if I just fill in these gaps, and this will start coming out. Stick and ink is the best thing on the whole world. Now I could come in here with a little bit of black and just get in some definition. So like this. It's got a stalk coming down. And even if it's not right, it doesn't matter. It's still yummy. So And see how we've got two different elements here. We've got the resist and we've got this one. We just stick an ink and a bit of wash. And as I bring these in, it resists beautifully. And you can always, if you wanted, you can come in with a bit of chalk, you can come in with a bit of white paint when it's dry and block out bits. Okay, so I'm just going to put that like that. Yeah, now it's a lot more interesting. Yep, like it now. See, it doesn't matter if you wreck it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the black, and I could have green leaves, but that's a bit predictable. So I'm going to just bring this down here. And now with the actual, this here with the leaves, what I can do is I'm going to do a little flick. Love a flick. And I'm going to bring this down here, bring this down here, and do not go over the same line. So if you see that there's the resist here, don't say, oh, I've got to go and put it over the same lines. Create your new line. So in which case, here's the line here, it was over there. I'm going to bring that into here like that, the side of the stick, and I'm going to bring this. I'm going to draw the leaves. And they're totally wrong, but see how it's much more interesting. You've got the ink, you've got the resist, you've got the ink on top, and even though it doesn't matter that the leaves are not actually perfect and they doesn't look anything like it, because it's all about the mark making. And see how the black is resisted in areas and then doesn't in others. So that just makes it just so yummy. And I'm just going to take this up here. Don't know if you can still see it. And here's nothing. Oh, there is still resist up there. And you only have to do a few lines for people to know that that's the leaves. It doesn't have to have all the details. It doesn't have to have every nook and cranny and everything. It's boring. The eye fills in the gaps, right? The eye fills in that's leaves, that's whatever, and leaves it also up to their imagination. So I'm just going to put a couple more leaves in here to balance it out. Right. Doesn't look anything like what I've been trying to draw, but that's okay. I'm just going to be a bit of artistic license because that's an empty gap. And so I'll just make these leaves bigger. There. Bit of a splash. Bit of a splash. And down here, I'm just going to use some line again. Down there like that. Now, I would do a few of these, because what we're going to be doing with the inks and things like that, we're going to tear these up and we will make collage books and concertina books, or we will use this and then put a piece of collage and a section you don't like, we'll either block it out with white paint or we'll put a collage over the top and then draw in. So in which case, if you've got some decent paper that's a little bit thick, that can take a bit more robust, and then what we'll do is we'll create these really interesting drawings, and they're beautiful drawings coming through from everybody, can I say. And what we'll do is we'll have an exhibition, as Jill Tweedy suggested, of all the artists putting their stuff online at the end of all this bloody drama that's going on. All right, so we can always, I would now put that aside, get another sheet of paper, learn from what we've done. There's, oh, I love that, but just because you love that, don't put it everywhere. Just because you love that, don't put it everywhere. It's all about variety. It's all about, oh, I love, this is beautiful. And now, what do you want, and choose, what do you want it to be the hero of this? What do you want? Do you want it to be the leaves? Do you want to, and then make that pop more. So that's the one that's got a little bit of detail, and that's a little bit more interesting. But at the end of the day, I really like this. And that was a cock-up. So I really think that's beautiful. And I'm really loving all these different lines and the wet where it happened there, where the ink went in the wet. So it's really nice. So again, sit at your kitchen table, get your little bits. You don't have to tidy up. No one's coming to visit you. You don't stay in your pajamas, get dressed, put makeup on so you look in the mirror and don't get upset. But at the end of the day, get your little kitchen table, get your space, have your happy space. Get a glass of wine if that's what you need, put the TV on while you're doing it, put your music on, and then just really just take advantage of this time and learn skills and enjoy yourself.